Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So there's a lot of things here that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the episode release for Daryl Dixon because we actually have some confirmation today because obviously it's September 7th, it's the Thursday, and there's no Daryl Dixon episode, right? So a lot of people have a lot of questions, and so I do have some confirmation on that. And then I also want to talk about some of the Walker experiment stuff that is going to be happening in Daryl Dixon, and I just want to give some thoughts on that. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. So like I was saying, episode 1 is not going to be premiering today. So obviously a lot of people woke up today and saw that, it wasn't premiering. And I know some people are upset about that because there was no like proper messaging, I guess, about that, which I totally understand. I mean, a lot of people were confused because they confirmed like at some point around Comic-Con that we were going to be getting these episodes like 3 days early. So something obviously at some point changed, and so now people are just kind of figuring that out for the first time. But we do have some confirmation here on when the episode is going to be coming out and sort of the release schedule for all 6 episodes. So AMC Plus actually responded on Twitter, or I guess X now, to a lot of fans, I guess, wondering about it because people woke up today and there was no new episode, and so they responded with new episodes of Daryl Dixon will premiere on AMC Plus on Sundays beginning at 3 a.m. Eastern / 12 a.m. Pacific. So it looks like each episode isn't going to be released 3 days early. It's going to a Sunday schedule, which I'm just going to say I do prefer overall. I know people are going to be upset about this because I think a lot of people, when they got AMC Plus, originally it was because of the early access part to it, right? It was because you could watch the episodes 3 days early, or, during the final season, it was a whole week early, right? So I know people, they really like that early access part of it. For me, honestly, it doesn't matter. I honestly didn't really like the early access part to it because for me, covering it, it was just one of those things where it was so hard to kind of stay away from spoilers in a sense, like in terms of doing reviews. And it wasn't necessarily the reviews, it was sort of the videos that would follow afterwards. It was like that part to it that definitely was really frustrating because I would do trailer breakdowns or videos on the following episode, like on the Friday and Saturday, but people who watch on cable, they still have yet to watch the episode and they got to watch it that Sunday. So it was just, for me, it was like, I'd always see people complaining about it and saying, this is spoiling this is spoiling that. And I'm like, I had to try balance both because some people want videos and stuff like that, right? They don't want to have to wait until Sunday. And my argument is, I'm also paying for AMC Plus as well. So I should be able to do the videos that I want to do kind of thing, right? And so I think now though, having it on Sundays just completely gets rid of that. And I'm so thankful for that because now we have Walking Dead Sundays back. And that's something that I really liked. The very last episode of The Walking Dead was amazing because we all watched it live together. And it was something that just online, everyone was all in that moment. It was such a big moment. It was honestly really amazing. And we're going to basically have that now. Sundays will just be completely devoted to watching The Walking Dead instead of Thursdays, because honestly, it's been weird for the last little bit watching episodes on Thursdays. It's just been so off. And like even watching them a week early, like it's going to feel really great now to be able to watch the episode Sunday, post my review, trailer breakdown for the next episode, and then that night people watch it on cable, but my review and stuff is already posted that day. So you don't have to watch my review immediately, but when you watch the episode later on that night, you can just watch the review afterwards, and it's all within that same day. Like I really, really do like that. And it also works for live streams and everything. Like to me, I think this is a really great decision. And again, on the whole early access part, I guess you technically get the episode like a certain amount of hours early, but like to me, this is sort of just an alternative to watching it on cable. Like if you're still paying for cable, I guess just watch it on there. But if you don't pay for cable anymore, like just get AMC Plus to watch The Walking Dead. Like it's kind of simple. Like the early access part is honestly kind of ridiculous. I think that they had to like sell you on that, but I guess that was sort of before because of the fact that, they're transitioning from cable to a streaming service sort of thing, right? So they want to get people, on AMC Plus. They want to get the word out that it is on AMC Plus kind of thing. So I think it works overall. I'm definitely very excited about this. And so for people who are, who woke up today and was like, wait, Daryl Dixon's not there. Because I know I was also posting online as well, like 3 more days until The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. But no, I guess it's 3 more days officially starting now. So, but I do understand obviously entirely that people are upset about the fact that there was just sort of a lack of communication from AMC. And I do think that definitely is an issue because like during Comic-Con, they said it was going to be 3 days early. And then all of a sudden at some point in the last month and a half or whatever, that changed, right? So in their marketing and stuff, they did say that it was going to be premiering on September 10th. Like it actually says like September 10th, AMC and AMC Plus. But the thing is, in the past, it's also said things like that where it would say like new episodes of The Walking Dead or Dead City are going to be, airing on this day on AMC and AMC Plus. Like people, I think, just kind of assumed, well, obviously on both, right? Because it'll be available on that day still. So yeah, there was a lack of communication, and I think they do need to communicate things like this a little bit better, because I definitely think that, some of that stuff there is lacking a little bit, because I don't know, it's just always sort of been an issue with episode releases, but I do prefer this overall. So I am very, very excited. And speaking of some more episode releases, we actually have some news here. So this is from T Walking D World on Twitter. Obviously, I think the best Twitter account just in general for anything Walking Dead. It says, news, hashtag The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will have a major AMC Networks cross-channel launch with the series premiere airing on September 10th at 9 p.m. Simultaneously on AMC, BBC America, IFC, Sundance, and WeTV, I guess, WeTV. And that's honestly really big. So Daryl Dixon's going to be premiering on all of those channels at that same time. So like a lot of people are going to be watching this episode. Like this first episode is going to get so many people watching it. And I'm excited for that, because I think The Walking Dead kind of needs that right now. Like I think in general, the franchise has been in a place where people just think, like people still watch this show. You always see that comment everywhere. But with these spinoffs, things are very different, and it's also like there's some stuff there's some legitimacy to it, right? Like if you think about it, the spinoffs have always kind of been not the greatest of quality. Fear the Walking Dead has had some good seasons, right? World Beyond was just overall just very average to a little below average. Tales of the Walking Dead was average, and when I say average, I would rate it like a 5 out of 10, and I think World Beyond I would rate like a 4 out of 10, 3 or 4 out of 10, somewhere around there, probably a 4. 3 I think would be a little harsh, but 4 I think makes sense for World Beyond. And Fear the Walking Dead, I mean, I don't even know what I'd rate that series overall. A 6 or 7 out of 10 probably. Like, and I'm including all 8 seasons, just because obviously season 4 and 5 were really bad. 7 was really, really bad, and well, actually season 5 was worse than 7, but it's just had some really bad seasons. And so that's the thing, the general vibe for spin-offs of The Walking Dead is that they're pretty poor quality. So I think people watching Dead City, I think people probably would have saw the quality change there. Daryl Dixon as well, people are going to see that. And I've seen that in a lot of the reviews where people are saying like there's a noticeable change here just in general for The Walking Dead in terms of quality. It seems like AMC is really, really going all out and really focusing on the quality of these shows and making the story really great. And, I think some people will say, well, why didn't you do that before? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know why the budget was lower and stuff. But that stuff's in the past. I don't really care about that. These shows here are doing amazing, and so I'm just kind of focusing on that. But we do have some episode titles here that I want to get into. So this also is from @TWalkingDWorld on Twitter, but it says the episode titles of season 1 of Daryl Dixon with English translations, which is really important because I'm not going to be able to pronounce these. I can try, but I'm not going to be able to. Episode 1 is called Lemd Perdue or something, but it translates to The Lost Soul. You know what? I'm not even going to try and pronounce this. Alouette, I can say that. That's episode 2. And then episode 3 is Paris Will Always Be Paris. Episode 4 is titled The Lady of Iron, which I believe is a reference to the Eiffel Tower. So I think that's likely where we're going to see it in the season. Episode 5, Two Loves. And then episode 6 is titled Coming Home. So first of all, it's really funny that I can't necessarily pronounce or speak French or try to read this. I just don't want to butcher it when I'm reading it, but it is kind of funny because I'm pretty sure I'm 40-50% French, and a lot of my family speaks French. So it's definitely my family is not too pleased right now. But I think this is really cool. I think that the episode titles work overall. In terms of predictions, The Lost Soul, obviously episode 1 is a reference to Daryl. Episode 2 titled Alouette, and the translation is Lark. I have no idea what that's in reference to. Obviously, it's a bird of some kind, so we'll have to wait and see. I know some people think there could be a connection to Madison or something, because Madison, obviously on Fear the Walking Dead was, or the name she got from Padre was Lark, but I think there's no connection here. Episode 3, Paris will always be Paris, is probably a reference to just, I don't know, certain things about Paris, I guess. Just a character might say this in the episode kind of thing. Episode 4, The Lady of Iron, I think this is going to be where we see the Eiffel Tower. I think there's going to be some fighting here, probably with Caudron and stuff, because I remember in the trailer, Caudron, I think, was near the Eiffel Tower. So I think that's probably where some of that could happen here. Episode 5, titled Two Loves. I mean, I don't know what that's related to at all. I have no idea, but this episode could be a pretty big one. And then 6 is titled Coming Home, which obviously Daryl is trying to go home, right? Like that's the whole point here, is Daryl is trying to get home. And so at this point here, is he going to be going home? Probably not. I think he's going to find out that, I think in general, this place might be his home for now. Like this might be something that he needs to kind of seek out and see more of, you know, like he might actually need to help out Isabel and Laurent and all that. Like this, whatever this is, I think he might want to try and explore it more, right? And then I think at the very end of episode 6 is likely where Carol shows up. So yeah, I'm very excited for all of this. But let's actually get into what I wanted to talk about, which was the CRM stuff. I know this video is going to be very long, but I haven't done a long video in quite a long time. So the reason why I wanted to get into this was because the CRM stuff is very interesting. You know, I referenced some reviews the other day that talked about some of the experiments and stuff going on in terms of the World Beyond post-credit scene and the advanced walkers and stuff that are going to be here in this season. And I wanted to talk about more specifically why I do think it's connected to the Civic Republic and why I think this makes sense overall. So just to remind you guys, in case you guys didn't watch the video yesterday, but this is one of the reviews. There's a bunch of reviews that reference stuff like this, but I'll just reference this one here. I'll leave a link down below to this article if you do want to check it out. But it says fans of the flagship show might be hoping for an explanation of the post-credit scene set in a French laboratory from The Walking Dead World Beyond. Jeanette, or Janae, however you pronounce that, leader of the antagonistic political group Pouvoir de Vivante, does have scientists experimenting on walkers. The greater purpose of those experiments, however, remains obscure. Vague lines about the relationship between the dead and the living are thrown out here and there. A wild-haired scientist holds a clipboard very importantly. We watch tests succeed and fail, but we remain in the dark as to what Pouvoir intends to do with any of this science or why their methods take the form they do. So to me, you know, the fact that they are experimenting on walkers, I think, I mean, first of all, you got to kind of think of the reason. You know, are they trying to find a cure? Probably not. I don't think this group is finding a cure because I also think that they view the cure as something that could be very, I guess, you know, I guess it could have an impact on their overall sort of view and, you know, the power that they do have, because like they are called I believe the villains are called Pouvoir de Vivantes or something, and I'm pretty sure it translates to like power to the living or power to the living or something like that. So I'm not entirely sure of their whole thing yet, but you know, they do have issues with the Abbey and whatnot, and, you know, them, I guess, delivering Laurent to the Nest, which is this place that I guess he will train and stuff, and he will become the next Messiah. At least that's what the nuns believe, right? So they do have issues with that. And I'm assuming it's because they don't want a cure of any kind, because I do think that they benefit from these walkers here, right? So to me, I think these walker experiments are just simply to try and make like really, really walker weapons, basically, right? Like they want to create walkers that are going to be so terrifying, so scary, and they're going to use them as weapons, I guess, in a way to gain power. And I think that's really insane. And in terms of the CRM and how that's connected, I think it makes sense that there's a lot of connections here in terms of that scene in World Beyond. But not only that, I actually think that there could even be a little bit more here in terms of what if the group here in Daryl Dixon, like the villains here, what if they become villains to the Civic Republic? Is that possible? Because that's one thing that people, I don't think, are really necessarily like thinking of right now. But it's very possible that this group is almost just like, in a sense, villains to the CRM, in the sense that the CRM, they want a cure, they want all of that. But this group here, they want like walker weapons. And so in that sense, there could be a huge issue here, or both can join forces, or they've already joined forces and there's some of that going on. So I think there are connections here. And I think it's really insane that The Walking Dead is introducing something like this right now. And I just really wonder where this is going, because season 1 seems to really get into this here, introduce a bunch of stuff, and I just wonder where they're going to go with this for season 2 and 3, and just going forward, and where this all leads up, and sort of what it means for Rick and Michonne and all of that. So yeah, really, really crazy stuff here, but I'm going to leave it here. Definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.